Welcome, Southeast students. This is a screencast to show you sort of the basics, I guess a crash course in personification. So let's just take a look at that word. You probably saw already that there's a root word in personification. It's the word person. And so you would rightly guess that when we talk about personification, that has something to do with people or persons or being human. And so personification is one of the 4 types of figurative language that we're studying in this short unit. The other ones are simile, metaphor, and imagery, right? So sort of bizarrely, personification is a type of metaphor. But let's not get to that quite yet. Instead, let's look at a definition of personification. If you're taking notes, now would be a good time to maybe jot down the definition. Let's call personification a type of figurative language in which something non-human is made to seem human. Alright? And there's a few types. So here, this is our sort of working definition, student-friendly definition. And there are lots of ways that something non-human can be made to seem human. Here, I just made a list of 5 things that humans can do, right? And these are really, I guess, sort of like things that you can witness. They're tangible. I can see when people smile, wink, talk, dance, and creep. Hopefully they're not doing too much creeping. But humans can do other things. They can have families, have jobs, and they're also capable of like abstract emotions. We can love, or emotions. We can love, we can hate, we can be courageous. So for now, let's just stick to sort of these, I guess, more concrete actions that humans can do, right? And let's just narrow it down to one. Let's say humans. One thing humans can do is humans can dance. But I'm going to write an example of figurative language that makes something non-human dance. And that non-human thing, I'm just going to make a tree. So I'm going to say the tree danced in the wind. Right? What would it look like if a tree was dancing in the wind? Well, it would look like its limbs are waving all around, and somehow it reminds us of dancing. So there's 2 things being compared here, just like with metaphor, and that thing is a tree to something outside of this thing, people, right? Those 2 things are being compared, and they're being compared by this idea of dancing. The tree danced. Let's take a look at another example right here. Let's say something like the flames of the fire licked the cold air and ate at the logs. Alright, so we've got a fire happening here, right? And there's actually 2 examples of personification in this example right here. Can you find them? Try right now. Good. So if you found that the fire licked the cold air and ate at the logs, then you found the 2 examples of personification, right? Because people can lick. True, other animals can lick, like dogs, and I guess almost every other animal can lick, right? But it's still personification because it's something that people can do, and people can actually also eat, right? People wouldn't eat the logs, but they can eat. So 2 examples of personification here. Let's just take a look at another, I guess, less obvious example. So let's say the final leaf on the tree kept up the fight against winter until mid-December. Alright, so that would mean like there's one last leaf left on the tree, and it's turned all red and it's dying, but it's not falling off the tree until mid-December. And so what about this is personification? See if you were able to circle something, what would you circle? Good. If you pick the tree kept up the fight, I guess, starting with this one, kept up the fight against winter, you found the example of personification. So now let's look at some maybe slightly less obvious examples. This is the poem, one of the poems from the practice test. Think back to that practice test. It's not always so obvious. See now if you can find the examples of personification in this poem. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. See if you can find two examples of personification in this poem. Good. Did you find that dreams dying is an example of personification and dreams going? Right? These are two things that only, or not that only, but these are two things that people can do. People can go and people can die. And so if I say the dreams are the things doing that, then that is making it seem like those things are something a person would do, right? Personification. Good. So those are examples of personification. All right. Good luck.